news now, and a court has heard how a police officer used COVID rules to kidnap Sarah Everard from the streets of South London in March before he raped and murdered her. Wayne Couzens, who was a serving Metropolitan Police officer, pretended to arrest the 33-year-old and was seen handcuffing her as she was walking home from a friend's house. Today, Sarah Everard's family addressed the court, saying they were broken-hearted and haunted by the horror of what happened to their daughter. Our special correspondent Lucy Manning was in court.
"She was my precious little girl," said Sarah Everard's mother. "I can never talk to her, never hold her again. I am tormented at the thought of what she endured." That was at the hands of Wayne Couzens in handcuffs when he was arrested at home, telling lie after lie. He'd already kidnapped, raped, murdered and burnt Sarah. He's asked if he knows her.
Do you know Sarah?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know where Sarah is?
No.
Right.
Sat in handcuffs and well, I know her. So you must have something to say that I know her.
As Sarah walked from her friend's house, Couzens was hunting for a victim. This, the moment of that deception. His car on the pavement, hazard lights on, he stops Sarah. His arm outstretched, showing her his warrant card. Using his handcuffs, he arrests her. He'd previously been on COVID patrols, so knew what to say. Witnesses see Sarah with her arms behind her back, but they think it's an undercover police operation. It was kidnap. He used all the equipment and knowledge of being a police officer to do it. Couzens sat in the dock, never lifting his head. Sarah's family and friends listened to the devastating detail that is their daily reality. In the hours after kidnapping her, there was a mixture of the banal and the evil. After dumping Sarah's body in woods in Kent, he stops at Costa Coffee to get a hot chocolate. Police think he's raped and murdered Sarah by this time. He then throws Sarah's phone into a stream, later recovered by a police diver. The next day he goes to buy a green can and fills it up with petrol. He returns to the woods and burns Sarah's body in a fridge. Later, it's dumped in water. That same day, he calls the family vet as if nothing has happened.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could book my dog in for the vet so I can have a discussion about issues, please.
He goes back again to the woods for a family trip with his wife and children just days after he'd left Sarah's remains there. Sarah's family remained so dignified as they told the court about Sarah and about what they had lost. Her father and sister asked Couzens, who had his head bowed, to face them. Couzens started shaking. Mr. Everard told him Sarah was handcuffed and unable to defend herself. "This preys on my mind all the time. I can never forgive you for taking Sarah away from us. All my family want is Sarah back. You have broken our hearts." Her mother Susan said, "He treated my daughter as if she was nothing and disposed of her as if she was rubbish. In the evenings, at the time she was abducted, I let out a silent scream. 'Don't get in the car, Sarah. Don't believe him. Run.'" Her sister told Couzens, "I hate to think of her so scared and alone. I hate that I wasn't there to save her, to stop you. I want to speak to her and hug her and hear her laugh." Couzens has still never explained what exactly happened that night. A police officer betraying his uniform, a family left with no answers and without Sarah, and a woman who had her life, her future taken. When Sarah Everard was murdered, the 5 words that people used were, "She was just walking home." The prosecution suggested today that a better 5 words to describe what Couzens had done were kidnap, rape, strangulation, deception and fire. He will be sentenced tomorrow, the prosecution pointing to the fact that he behaved as if he was a police officer. They think that means he should never be released. But everyone in court today won't forget the strong emotional words from the Everard family the moment they told Couzens to face them and to face up to what he had taken from them.
Lucy Manning, thank you.